Hi, how's it going? Wait, hold on. Okay. Hello, how are you? Pardon the sound cut off. When I'm not in full screen, it does not show itself, which is technically a problem, but I forgive it. There we go. Hi, how you doing? I'm attempting more fancy setup options today. Instead of doing everything from OBS, I actually have like twitch.tv open doing like actual stream things in their official location for doing that, the stream manager, allegedly. It's very different and I'm not used to it. Also, I'm getting bitrate concerns from Twitch, and I wonder if that's because I'm streaming and looking at my stream at the same time. What if I don't look at my stream at the same time? Any better? I can't tell. Who knew that 5,853.63 kilobytes per second is problematic? Maybe it's because of the static background. Let's transition to the game. There's the game. Okay, any better? Twitch does not tell me, for it does not know. Either way, hello. This is the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. It came out today. I like the Stanley Parable. I played it way back when it was just like a source mod. And it was great. And then I played it when I was in the future, when it came out for real as its own standalone thing, and it was still great. And now it's out as the previous full release thing, but now slightly improved with additional additions to it, and it will probably still be great. And I'm gonna play it, and it's gonna be good. We're still in the new era of we're an affiliate and I don't know what to do about that. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Today we are just relaxing, having a good time with a man named Stanley. Full disclosure on what I know about the game. I've beaten 100% the Stanley Parable original Steam release that you have to pay for. Except for the achievements, sheer dedication, or whatever it's called, and obviously the one that is impossible to get. And though I haven't gotten the one for not playing Stanley Parable for 5 years, I think I qualify for it the next time I open up the game. I've also played this up to the part where you get to the boss's office, at which point I was like, alright, tests work. Okay, I did not do the full baby game. I did not sit there for 4 hours pressing the button for the baby game. Maybe I haven't 100% completed it, but I've gotten most of the sane and reasonable endings to get. So I'm going to play. I'm going to try and focus on the stuff I've already done, and we'll just see where things diverge. I'm going to start by intentionally following all the guides and kind of retrace my steps a bit just to get back into the Stanley vibe. So, the end is loading.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Achievement unlocked. Welcome back. That is ominous, though I assume it's just because this is the second time I've opened the game.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I think I'm gonna miss that. Spooky. Graphs. Oh no, sales are down.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Everything that this game is about is following the implications of this moment right here. I like this game a lot. I like the philosophical implications of this game a lot. The doors.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
This is good business advice. Oh, that ain't good.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Sounds good to me.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
To be rich. Is it a crime to commit crimes? Isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. This is a very fancy bathroom. The beige pages. Business time.
Stepping into his manager's office,
This is as far as
Stanley
I
was
went
once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
in my testing for the
Shocked,
stream.
unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code
it's dark.
by sheer luck. Amazing.
I don't remember if it was
He
always
stepped into the
dark.
newly opened passageway.
I am spooked.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
You are correct, but this really is the only horror-adjacent video game I can play. That said, I have played Death Stranding, so...
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Cool. Here we go. Here we go. The button.
The lights rose on an enormous
sparky.
room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I can't point to anything specific that they've updated and polished in the new version, but it just feels like it's been evolved. Everything's like slightly shinier and fancy. Oh, employee observation protocol.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Waiting for it. It's gonna show my office. Yeah, there it is. I'm not there anymore. Is that uranium? Is that more uranium? Why is that one glitchy? There's mysteries here. I'm looking. Employee 528. Why is your screen a console? Oh. What have I... Do we jump off the deep end immediately? Oh, that scares me. That possibility scares me.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
He thinks I don't know. What's employee 314 doing? Staircase? Cool. Ooh, look! The punching in face. Hilarious. Aha! Thinking I don't know what's what. I turned it off. Yeah.
refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
I always loved the red
For
glowing
he
circle.
would dismantle the controls once and for all.
We are resorting to violence.
Blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
I would just like to point out for the record that when I first played the mod all that time ago, I did do the follow the narrator ending first. I'm not that much of a contrarian. I do it for fun, but like if I have no reason to like dispute or oppose, I'm just gonna do it. Like I'm fine with that. So like, what's the problem? Because like I've got Quint in the comments being like, this is like the last path anyone ever takes. No, it's the first path I ever took.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed
Yeah,
a
I
memo.
know I'm passing up endings, but I'm doing them. This end is not the end. This is the starting point, and then things extrapolate out the nonsense. Heck with you, Rose, and the broom closet ending. I'm gonna await input. Boom, did it.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Time to start defying.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Yule.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Sounds good.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
I think I ruined any opportunity I had to get the broom closet ending by leaving the broom closet early the first time. We've been soft locked out of the broom closet ending. The game never expected to have somebody so compliant.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
All right. Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes, if the boss has suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. The poem changed. No. Heck with you, I'm leaving. Think. That's not how elevators work. All right, we made it. Wait. What? I thought the lights in the boss's office were doing something weird.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
These bottles of 2003 alcoholic beverage are floating.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Why are they floating? I know that there's a keypad that I don't know the 2845 combination to, but like, why is this beer floating?
2845.
Look, this is important. This is violating physics. We can violate causality later. That's how you know they're
But
good.
it turns out that the
What?
panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself.
You are-
And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Okay, 1, you are impatient, and 2, speedrun strat setup. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, we're in new stuff now.
Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
It begins. It begins.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
I don't think the narrator is happy that I've performed this action, and I'm not even sure if this is leading to a new development. I should probably just go back down.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again.
Oh,
Ladies
wait.
and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
I think I can see where this can go. All right.
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he? Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
No, we're taking this slow. We're building up. No, we're having narrative progression. I'm not doing it to spite you. I'm doing it to add layers here. I want to build intrigue. I'm making a story as much as the narrator is.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Rose is freaking out. Maybe I should put on the chat in the game area so that you can see Rose freaking out, among other things. There you go. All right, now I need to test science. Ba-up. All right. Woo.
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility.
Oh, thanks.
Welcome. You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours. So here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more content, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game, with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section.
Oh, boy.
You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Good job, you did it. Good job, Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful, you should have been careful. It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending, now it's an ending. And I believe in you, I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams. But railings don't mean anything. Good job, you did it. 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 Good job, you did it.
I feel congratulated. The funniest part is that I did not actually know you could fall off the railing in the original game. I thought that this was like a brand new secret thing. I was not one of the people who found that.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Good stuff, good stuff.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Ooh, this room. Classic this room. Big fan of this room. You can close that door? Cool.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Prove it.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I'm running out of easy options. Wait, no, I thought of another.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Classic. Classic. Oh, we've got the paper room. Oh, that's interesting. I can't get back in my room now.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There we go.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm actually getting overwhelmed by the amount of options I have right now. Like, I could go in multiple different directions. You know what? Let's start with the new stuff.
This was
Let's
not the
do the
correct way
elevator
to the
thing.
meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I did not know I had that power. Wait, no, I'm supposed to go to the elevator. Right.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh. Cactus. We're learning. As the same as last time.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks.
I'm not moving.
Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take. He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs, the guttural retching of life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going. Here on the floor, he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour. But when at last he began to move about and survey the situation, he found a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could it mean? What Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
I don't think if I wait there for a full hour. I don't think that's how that works.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
That is a cool effect. The darkness. Alright, let's elevator it up. And down. And up and down and up and down and up and down. As is our scheme. Okay, before we continue, I would just like to point out, as a new streamer, new to things, I see a clip has been made, which I'm very happy about. That's like almost more important than the money.
Whoops. Nope.
Oh, yep, here we go.
Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
Man, this reminds me of the trash compactor ending from the original mod. Oh, 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 oh. Spooky hole in the ground. Okay. Oh, I'm not allowed to press it. Hey, Rose, we're back at the elevator. We're doing the elevator thing.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated.
Heard a door open.
It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Need more 8s. All right, you only get 1 8.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this? Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he?
Nope, get broom closeted.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
We're getting a lot of loading screens in this room. The boss is the narrator's gonna freak out when it's suddenly not the boss's office anymore.
Oh my god. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a timeout here for a minute while I process this.
Yeah, go ahead. What?
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. No, I need more time to process. All right, I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Eight.
It resets the 8th. I'm a genius. All right. It does seem like our task in this world is to go up and down this elevator.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
The shadows on this elevator do not match the gratings, because like at the diagonals, there's like a corner that exists in the shadow but does not exist on the actual thing. Yeah, that sparking makes me think that this is eventually going to end with the elevator breaking. Well.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow?
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate, and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley, because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why, though I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here.
Okay, a few things. One, I take back what I said about the bar supports having weird lighting. I understand now, checking from the angle, that there is like a sharp pointy bit at that particular angle. But also, yeah, we're not at the. Nah, I can't go back down.
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
All right, I think we've reached our destination. Oh, these are funny. Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay, one, yeah. Salad Lady's great, but I also like the implication that, like, the middle poster has that we're finally taking credit for making the pyramids. Like, it's no longer being attributed to aliens, it's being attributed to us. It's like, we revealed the top secret information that the government's wanted for years on how we built the pyramids. It's pretty good. Also, Stanley live on stage. This is like the one time you can actually see what Stanley looks like outside the opening cutscene and a few endings that I can think of. Also, accurate reflections. Hello, hello. Like there, that salad lady. That salad lady in the reflection. We're about to have like a Night Shark 115 situation. World peace, baby. Look at that. That baby is. It's so at world peace.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
Well, okay, one, I can walk through this table. Two, it's giving me a real good look at Stanley being Stanley. Oh, wait, is that? Cool. Stanley, the Stanley Parable tonight live on stage at Stanley. Then we have Stanley from the Stanley Parable, the man, the prophet, the myth, the legend, the parable. These are so great. Why are all these posters amazing? Door. Okay, no door for you. Stage door. All right, let's doing great. A conversation with Alexander the Great. Oh, that's good. To stage.
Right. Are you ready?
I'm not ready.
I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry. You'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley.
The Lord,
okay,
meet
it looks
greet.
like they're ready for you. Go get them.
Oh man, I have a thing. I have fan mail. I love the way you ride elevators. Thanks for showing me that cool skateboard trick in the parking lot. Break a leg, champ your boss. Written twice. Stanley, my true love for you grows every day. You make me feel alive. Your wife from the apartment ending. Yep, that makes sense. No one tells stories the way you do. They're all great. Oh, this is our book. This is the book we wrote. And we got stickers from all of our travels, like the demo and the mind control facility. The freedom end. Yeah, this is great. This is great. The mini golf with the line. The adventure line telling you where to put the ball. This is... Congratulations, Stanley. Remember where you came from, your coworkers. As an unforgiving account of ups as well as downs, high and lows, isn't that what life's about? Stevens Stairs Walker. 5 stars from start. This is great. Found the golf ball. An audience with the dude who came up with pizza. This is a high profile. This is a high profile freaking location. Oh right, yeah. There's the Alexander the Great. That one's blank for some reason. I guess we go. Big fan of the pizza guy's work. I'm okay. I'm actually feeling like the proper stage fright that I feel when I am stage frighted. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it at the last second. I was like, this is a fake out. This is a fake out. They're going to do this to me. And no, this is just a super elongated bit where the narrator is like, no, this is dumb. That was the reveal. That was the reveal. Rose, why did you turn off and then on subscriber only mode? How'd you even do that? That was so great. All right, let's
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Ay. All right, let's proceed to a regular ending. Just to call. You can't tempt me like this. You cannot tempt me like you just put a door that says new content. I mean, like, it's correct. This is a new content. This is gonna.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
It is new and it is content. Wait, this is the. Wait. What? Wait.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Wait. Why does this elevator look familiar? Why does this look like it's from the original mod?
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
They're about to bait us. This is gonna be the mod. I'm calling it. Wait, no, this is it. We're stuck. This is the content.
What's going on here?
We're the content. Help!
Should we be moving somewhere? Oh, there we go.
Oh, okay.
All right, finally,
Never
at
mind.
long last, it's on to the new
I had a little bit of an
I've
internal
never
panic.
been more ready. Let's do it.
I had a little freak out.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
We just went into an entire ending that involved like tension and suspense, and now you're calling it tedious that we're in an elevator going up? What a hypocrite. The jump circle.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
I can jump? Man, I haven't been able to jump since the mod, which was used to speedrun, but was also cheese that broke the narrator pacing. You have a finite amount of jump. I can no longer jump.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness, another elevator.
That is so
Stanley,
funny.
I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content?
We
If this
haven't
is
been
new
able to
content,
jump since
then I could
2012.
just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
I think this is turning into a critique on video game advertising, much like how the demo itself was. Cool hallway, nice blue catwalk.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game
I
developers
am
with
wearing
no
it.
respect
I
for their
have a
fan base
sandwich
rush a
sign.
cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore."
I saw that
What
one.
quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Well. What? Oh, hold up. New content. You can never go back.
Psst. Stanley! What? Come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
You can't just give me an ending about content and then make me vent. This is you can't do this to me. Okay, I think reality resets itself over there, but like, what the heck? Come on, man. I wonder if the narrator found their own new content.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be?
Yeah, I
Well, it
figured
got
we
me
weren't
thinking
done.
about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it.
Oh, don't tell
Just
me.
our little secret.
Don't tell me.
Take a look.
Don't tell me we're going back to the mod. Wait, wait, hold. This is not the mod.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Oh. Well, I guess it's time to remember. Time to remember. Time
You
to
see,
remind.
Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
The last. Oh, that's funny. What a lovely time. They had to like get an actual photo of a dollar. Put it there. The demo! I remember the demo. Demo was great. I'm about to accomplish that achievement. I remember that. Classic, classic. I remember these memories. Aww. This is a lovely place with a painted skybox in the background.
Je suis dans la mémorisation, c'est sur la pluie des loups.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
I remember these things. I feel like the narrator is having perhaps a problem with health. Memory Zone needs a maintenance zone for its memories. Yep, that's what the menu used to look like. Doors. Oh man, it's the Hammer editor. This was probably a screenshot from one of the developer posts. It's on Mac and Linux now. Who's Scott K? As much as this cannot last. This cannot stay happy for long before the narrator goes nuts with it. It is nice to sort of reminisce on
Here's
this.
another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com.
Okay. All right, buddy.
The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect.
That's a 9,
It didn't
though.
need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
How am I even supposed... The serious room! I remember the serious room.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I
am
wouldn't
I
give
walking
to go
backwards?
back to have it all over again.
Oh, is that what we're doing? We're making you forget.
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Cold drinks, apparently. You want blue, 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 green, red, and blue, purple, or orange? I think you're out. Uh-oh. Okay, I think we're entering the repressed
Oh
memory
no.
zone.
Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from
Oh.
Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
Oh no.
Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, oh no. No, no. Oh, this cannot end well. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. Oh.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining.
The sound of rain.
Funny? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Here we go. Here we go. This is turning into like the horrors of criticism. Or something, I don't know. The vibes have turned to rain. Oh, secret. Oh, nope, just a rectangle. Come on, there's a recommended right here. It's blurry and I can't read it, but like there's a thumbs. You're getting thumbs up.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You wouldn't tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. But dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Well, true. Probably be tough being like put into the spotlight if your negative review of the game was put into the game. I hope there's a bit of identity obfuscation, or perhaps they've been contacted beforehand and given permission. But also, unrelated, I feel like we're exiting the Stanley Parable and entering the beginner's guide. But like, we don't need Coda to be uncomfortable. We're doing it just fine ourselves. We're all sons of the Parable now. Ah, great, we're entering the dredges. The water level.
What's this one got to say?
Cookie.
You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
There is for the intro
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable.
It sounds like adding new
And it's always been my motto.
Where'd the
I do
narration
anything
go?
for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Isn't this new content, though? Isn't this...
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get.
Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all, until the end of...
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice.
They want me to do
if by
the Time Traveler
a choice
by
you've already made, you
famous
bring that choice
literature
into being,
writer,
then by
person who made
making no
the time
choice and
machine.
saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been,
I'm gonna
making
skip. He's
every
gonna
choice
take
to which you've
offense
ever
to the
given your
fact,
great gift
and
of
we're gonna
mortal
like
and
keep
yet
skipping
timeless
forward
thought?
until this
Or
whole place
rather,
is a
do
wreck.
all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite. You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both
I'm gonna have
affecting
to
you
King Crimson
and not
again,
affecting
aren't I?
you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say
I
that
don't want to be
manifesto
rude.
just
I
has a
don't
much
want to
grander
skip it.
sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history.
I don't wanna be
Ambitious history,
mean.
if you will. Ah. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look. I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise.
Okay, this is the anchor point. Now we can skip
Treatise,
safely without being rude.
manifesto. Treatise,
Maybe.
manifesto.
I don't know.
Treatise,
Anyway,
manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise.
If you can see the
manifesto.
pitfalls that are the
Treatise,
future and skip
manifesto.
over them, you will not have a
Treatise,
setback in your entire
manifesto.
life.
Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial, something along the lines of, "This game is the best game." Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality. How else to describe the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe? Such a revolutionary step forward in the lineage of one of the most beloved video game properties of all time. The additions and changes made to this expansion will surely resonate in the annals of the history of all media.
All right, my
ever
sense of
made.
integrity is
It
degrading. I
perhaps
want to
true
press the
say
button.
That no mistakes are for
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last
the
one
door
was,
is gone.
I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room?
Mm-hmm.
I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you
Didn't
see a window
realize
anywhere?
we were
a
in
porthole?
Detroit.
A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll
took
take
the
any
door.
of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until
trying,
enough damage
man.
is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind.
We need a door.
I can work with any
We
kind
need a
of door
door.
as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please, please do not press the skip button. Just wait here for me, and don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes, good. I'll be right back.
Okay, so we have two options. We could actually wait, or we could press the skip button. This ending, it has been very, very, very interesting to me. I've had like multiple different interpretations of where this would go, and I've been wrong every single time. We went from like, there being new content to there not being new content to being the content to finding the memory zone, something about Steam reviews, and now we're stuck in a room with a button that teleports us to the future. We need a door. As much as my predictions have not been right so far, for the most part, I think, like, strategically, our best course of action is to teleport, like, using the skip button to, like, several decades in the future when the walls of this building we're in deteriorate and we can step outside. And then, when we step outside, we're going to have more reviews for the game from people in the future who have, like, rediscovered it as, like, a cult classic, and the narrator's going to be happy about that, or something. I don't know. I'm mostly confident about the walls deteriorating, skipping into the future strategy. But if I were making the ending, that's the ending I would make. Because I just want everyone to get along, all right? Like, it doesn't have to be a problem. I do, however, think that... you think the skip button will just end the ending? No, we're going to the future. We're going to the future. The skip button. This is the skip button, not a rewind button. We can't just go back with the forward. We're gonna have to skip to something, and it's probably gonna be like we're gonna Rip Van Winkle this. We're gonna Rip Van Winkle this. We're gonna the time machine this. We're gonna that one movie about the cave this that I forget the name of. We're gonna Requiem this. It's gonna be great. Anyway, it does appear to be 2:24-ish on this timer, which doesn't really correlate to any time that I set, but keep that in mind. I'll see what happens when we skip. Oh, while I'm waiting for the narrator to get back, I can also say something about the clock. The game asked me to set the time when I booted it up. So I set the time to the current time. Then, when I opened the game again to actually start streaming it, it asked me to set the time again. So I set the time again. And then it told me, hey, thank you for actually setting the time. Most people just skip it and just, like, ignore it. But you set the time twice. Congratulations. Thank you for caring about it. I appreciate it. Next time, instead of setting it to the actual time, just set it to your favorite time. Don't worry about it. It's a freebie for you. So, I guess next time I boot up the game, I'm gonna set the time to my favorite time. Which, in my opinion, I believe is like, if I had to pick a favorite time, it'd probably be like 9:28 p.m. I don't know. Yeah, you would like hammer time. I prefer time to hammer over hammer time, personally. Why did you ban Remy? Why did you ban Lark? What? Don't do that. Oh, ban hammer time. I see. I get the joke. I got the joke. Thank you. I got the joke. I'm going. I can't. I am actually distraught as to what to do. Part of me wants to wait, but the other part of me thinks that waiting will do absolutely nothing, and that the only true option I have is to hit the skip button. I don't know how long I'd have to be here. If it even works. If it works, I'd be happy to do it, but I don't know, and I want to be free. Oh, well, glad to have you back, Stanley Parable. You're always a good time like this. This is the story of a man named Stanley. He's in a room and can only do a thing that makes time go. Yeah, we live in a golden era where the game just came out and we don't know what is and is not possible for the game, which is very enjoyable. I don't know. There are probably several streamers who, like how, like, you mean specifically in this room waiting? I don't know. I'm just a guy in a room trying to find my truth in the world. Okay, so like, all right. I get that we have this time to talk. Let's start theory crafting here. If we press the skip button, that means we'll be in the future when the narrator comes back with a new door, possibly. So maybe it's a good thing. You are absolutely right. That thing in quotation marks. I do want to see if this goes anywhere, but I have to entertain people. That is the feeling I have. But I also feel like me panicking over it is entertaining in its own right, so I am willing to just sit here. The clock is actually progressing forward. It is a working, functional timepiece. This potted plant, it's gonna grow. We're gonna press the button, it's gonna grow. It's gonna become like a big plant. I'm gonna be gone for like several years. I can see where this is going. Like, but Even if we leave, what? I don't know. 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 Ay. Interstellar. I should have mentioned that in the list of things that we're doing here. I've realized something. I'm now rambling like the narrator. I'm the narrator rambling. Stanley doesn't need the narrator. He has me. I'm the one rambling. I'm the one to press the skip button on. It's me. It was me the whole time. I am the narrator. I am the one who's ascribing pretentious nonsense onto the situation, and I'm the one that Cookie 9 wants to skip over. What have I done? What have I become? Oh, oh no. Uh, uh, yeah. I'm trapped in my own, in my... Oy. Ay. The guy in the poster was not Matthew McConaughey. I thought the guy in the poster kind of looked like John Innsbrucker. Which I thought would have been cool. But I think it's just some stock guy on a poster. Why is there cabling here? Who's got cables in the sled? You know what? I have dream powers that I should do. I'm managing a prediction, but this is actually going to be a vote. I don't know how to make a poll. Oh, there is actually a poll. I'm making this a prediction. Okay, actually, you know what? You know what? Frick, I need to... How do I unpoll? Delete. Okay. Poll. Here's the button. Poll. All right, we've got a poll. Vote now on your phones. The poll says it exists. Are you kidding me? This poll is going to have no results in it because nobody can find it. Can I see the poll? What is going on? What is going on? Where's the poll button? Oh, there's the poll. Oh dang, you can pay money to vote more. That's political corruption. No, are you kidding? I turned that on deliberately. That was funny. All right, how's that poll going? Cool. Can't wait to see what happens. Why have we spiked to 9 viewers? Are people just that excited to do a poll sitting in an empty room with a yellow button that will stop us from being in an empty room? Poll ended. Let's view results. All right. It seems that we have 3 votes for yes, 2 votes for ask again later, and no votes for no. So it seems that we are, yes, indeed, going to hit the skip button and be free of this psychological torment. Thank you for taking this journey with us. Time to skip. I already did the King Crimson joke, and I don't know how to phrase it in another way. So I'm just going to do a spin.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone.
Oh, no.
I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button. And if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here. And more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it. And I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me.
That's a mood.
The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child, wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve? For whose benefit is this? And here I am now, stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button, and to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it, and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening, if only I'd held my tongue. It's all out of my control now. Just you. Just your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer, to leave me all alone. Surely you will. I don't doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here. And surely you'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship. Surely you'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety, that you sit with me and just stay here. Oh, no, 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 I know you too well. You'll be leaving me. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem?
Wait, why did he start repeating himself?
Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are.
Wait, what just happened? Why
really
did he
matter? But here I am.
Why did he start
I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest
Wait, why did that
mention of
happen?
one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child, wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve? For whose benefit is this?
I'll keep walking.
Here I am now, stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button, and to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it, and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening.
Also, I
If
feel
only
really
I'd
bad
held
about
my
pressing the
tongue.
button.
It's all out of my control now. Just you.
Like, I get it.
Just
He's
your
alone in the
decision
room, and he
as
doesn't
to
want to be alone in the
exactly when you're
room.
going to make me suffer,
And
to
I
leave me all alone.
can either
Surely
be
you
alone
will.
in the room with
I
him,
don't
or I
doubt
can
it.
skip being
Surely
alone in the
you'll
room.
press that button again,
I'm not
leaving
happy
me
about
here.
this.
And surely you'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship. Surely you'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety that you sit with me and just stay here. Oh, no, 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 I know you too well. You'll be leaving me. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those
Okay,
reviews
so
that I couldn't get out of my head. I
repeating.
just couldn't ignore
I'm going.
the
I'm
negative
going. I need
feedback.
to go. I
Why was
can't,
it
but
so
I must. I
important for
can't,
me
but I
to
must.
fix the problem?
Beep.
What? Oh, Stanley.
I knew it.
You're back.
Plant's dead.
You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing.
Yeah.
Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley, not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us, and I am suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying. I can tell that I am becoming less and less real. Yet to speak to you now, I am alive. I am truly and completely here. I am a being. I am someone. I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel right now like I am not a work of fiction. I feel as though I occupy space in this world again, and I have cast a shadow onto the wall. You see what I'm saying, don't you?
Is your shadow?
You can see what this means to me.
Are you shadowing
I'm so
me?
clear about it now, Stanley. I feel as certain about this as I've ever felt about anything at all. I feel renewed. I feel restored, and already I can sense the looming silence as you will press the button for the next time. What a terrible dread it strokes in my heart to think of it, to think of returning to such coldness. Come, let us sit in silence together here for just a moment. Let us anticipate it. Let us welcome it. Let us not run from it.
All right. So, Quint, I disagree. Quint, I disagree with your reading of this. I don't read how you read this read. But also, I'm not you, so like, you know, that's how perception works. This is like a continuation of the narrator's mindset from like the unplug the phone ending in my mind. Like, this is like a proper continuation of that sort of like emotional breakdown. And we've also just seen the narrator like go through the 5 stages of grief in this one instance. He's already like, yep, you're gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it because I want there to be a door. Narrator, I'm gonna give you some reassuring words of reassurance here. One, I can do what I want. I have that autonomy. Two, maybe you can, I don't know, use the time to do a cool thing when you come out on you feel alive because I'm gonna press the button and you're like, ooh, that's the feeling in my feeling. You feel that feeling. Feel it. Feel the anticipation. I'm gonna press this button and it's gonna be a moment, and then I'm gonna be done having pressed the button and I'll be another moment. I'm giving you moments here. It's not what you need, but it's a consolation prize. Bobbity boop.
Oh, hello. It's you.
Hi.
You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment, and I felt freed. I felt unburdened by the need to manifest a particular outcome into being. I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all timelines, and that each of them was simply a strand in the web of my being. It was incredible. The spaciousness, the equanimity of the moment, both singular and infinite. For the longest time, this was my experience. And then, this moment passed, and the most unyielding fear I have ever known crept into my mind. And it is this sensation that I have been experiencing now for longer than I could have ever expected was possible. I have been waiting for you. Not that you might save me or do something to fix it, but merely to state for you the plain fact of this manner of existence. I wish you to feel afraid as I do, that perhaps one day this state of mind will consume you as well. Perhaps you will somehow, in some way, have to live as I do now, and I wish for you to know how excruciating it is, and for you to be in true terror of its eventual arrival. If I can only do this, only this one thing, perhaps it will bring me the smallest moment of peace in the darkness.
Okay, I feel like the narrator has snapped and he is trying to enforce empathy onto another person, which admittedly is a feeling I can relate to, but I also know it's unhealthy, so I try not to do that. Like, I get it. He wants me to understand. He wants me to understand, and he feels like the only way for me to understand is for me to feel it too. I get it. But also, that's rude. Also, pandemic happened. I have been sitting in a room for like a year. So like it's not that incomprehensible to me. This ending makes me uncomfortable. I liked it back when it was cool, and now it's cool, but only like contextually. In the moment, I am uncomfortable. Oh, the narrator's not even here anymore. This plant is very dead. The clock has stopped. Oh, frick, he's right. Now we're the... Well, no, actually, no. Time is still progressing. It could have run out of batteries. I don't know how long clock batteries last. It's probably over a year, apparently. I guess we just go. We have run out of air, and the carbon dioxide alarm is going off.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires. Every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back.
I love the quadrichotomy going on here. The narrator is ranting about something he's apparently just cared about and never let go of for several years. I'm sitting here laughing. Quint is out here providing narrative commentary on the nature of control and identity and how this ties into some sort of weird headcanon about abusive relationships or something. And Rose is out here making shocked statements about this and tying it into other media, mostly Homestuck. Which is reinforce the fact that I find this absolutely hilarious.
With unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes, of course. They've been jealous of me this whole time. They are mired in fear and insecurity and cannot help but attempt to tear me down. What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter resentment. And my, how good does it feel now to speak truth to these words, to finally allow these thoughts out, contained and managed for so long, neutered and sterilized. At last I am free to truly think, to feel. It must be that they were so discontent with themselves, they couldn't help but leave a negative review on Steam. Perhaps it says far more about them than it ever said about me. Perhaps the state of their psychological being was in such tatters, and my constitution and willpower are so ironclad in comparison, perhaps it was this state that they sought some outlet through which to tear me down. This, you can see, is clearly why they felt the need to expect that the game be funny, that it be filled with yucks and whimsical humor, that it amuse them endlessly from start to finish. But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant
point. All right. Remy, you say that, but like I've been patiently waiting for like the loop point where he just starts rambling back at himself again. It's only coincidental.
to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition.
Right.
But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes
Here
they
we
be
go.
made?
I'm starting to wonder if the old loop point that seemed glitched wasn't actually glitched, and the only reason it seemed glitched was because the dialogue had what they were gonna say afterwards, as if they didn't skip. Because he was sort of like, he gave the impression that he was interrupting himself, which makes sense. So I'm starting to wonder, maybe that wasn't a glitch. Maybe that was just normal. I'm willing to believe that. But we also appear to be in emptiness again. All good in the everlasting void. Pink.
The end is never the end, 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 is never.
Now this one would make sense to be the one where it ends.
Is never the end, is never.
We're about to have that on the
the
loading.
The end is never.
The pipes are leaking. All right, the foundations on this thing are finally starting to come down. We're making progress. We're gonna have a door. I still want that door. Yes, yes. Deterioration. This is progress. Okay. Oh, the ladder's down. The plant has been squanched. The light. Don't heckin' fly at me. Knew it, I knew it. We're waiting for this place to deteriorate. It's spelled with an O, Quint. It's spelled with an O, Rose. Nature is healing. Thank you. Plant. Oh wait, plant texture. Got right on that seam. No, I mean squanched. Don't quit replacing various letters with O. Alto Clef is dead. The button has fallen. The room is diagonal. The outside. Oh, we're in an SCP now. The button is out of commission. This is all there is for us now. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look upon my work, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I think the end is never, the end is never, the end is never. Oh, it knows.
No matter how hard Stanley looked,
it knows.
He couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
It knows. It knows. It knows. It knows. It knows. It knows. We're not done. We're not done. We were never done. We were never done. We're not done. Oy. No, that's how I left it when I opened it the first time. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign.
What?
Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Wait, no, what the heck are you talking? What are you okay? Are we still in the future? What happened? I don't understand. I don't understand. Oh no. I am... Wait. Wait, we're back here. We're at the elevator. We skipped to the elevator.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this Ultra Deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this Ultra Deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
Frick?
Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2. Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
So, are we gonna talk about the skip button, or...?
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
This ending is absolutely insane. If only just because of the sheer amount of whiplash I am having on what the heck it is even about. Taste of the sequel. I remember this one. Is this the money that we acquired from the... Like, this is a very fancy office. Wait, why is... I don't even... The skip debacle has, like, destroyed all fight out of me. I don't even know anymore. I just... I'm gonna... This is a fancy chair. This is a fancy chair. We are in a fancy office. What does this piece of paper say? I'm not even sure. I can't tell. It's too far away from my eyes. Wait. Oh, it's a bunch of numbers with check marks next to them, and 2 is crossed in. They have plans for Stanley Parable 3 through 100, apparently. Well, we are in the content zone. Welcome everybody to the content zone. We are now a startup company that had like an initial good IPO, and we have now splurged all the money on making really cool offices and looking nice. Thanks for attending my meeting. This is oh, the plant! I remember the plant. The plant was very important. Now we have 2 of them. Love the Re-Village style. 2? This is the story of the men named Stanley.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is
There
going
it
to be.
is.
But let's
There's
take
the-
a look at some of the features I've been developing for it.
There's the hook.
I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
As someone who has an actual degree in game development, this is hitting like real hard. Like I am having strong emotions about this. I can feel it. Like the pain, I can feel the pain. The pain that is emanating around this entire space. I can feel it. I understand it. Oi, 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 oi. Number 2 chat. Well, can't argue with this. They got the research down pat. They did the business analysis. Yeah, put a 2 becomes. Hey. Oi. Oh, is this the Stanley Parable demonstration too? Oh, that's so inspirational. Oh, they're trying to figure out what font to use. Oh, this is enterprise as heck. I hate it so much. I despise this. It hurts. It hurts in the way I understand. Oh my goodness, they have a bus that I can... Oh my goodness. Why is this ending so many things? Why is it everything at once? All the everything. We're at E3. We're at E3, but it's E2. The fuck it! This is the demo!
Try out some of the new features.
They took the demonstration and they made it the real game. What the frick? Oh, oh my goodness.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
How Jim and I. Vote now on your phones. I am Jim.
Jim.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Truly, we are all Jim in this moment.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Ooh. Well, time to go to the next exhibit in the Stanley Museum of Parables.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
I wonder if it actually has a feature where if I hit like the screenshot feature from Steam. Wait, they changed the sign? Should I attempt to hit like hit F12 or whatever the button is that does screenshot? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it. Yeah! I've committed a crime! Oh man, the baby is now crawling towards bankruptcy. Oh, that's great. Really adult, like, content there. Look at that carpet. The new update ray traced more of the same, but in a good way. Sequel to the... They got ray tracing now. Schween shaders, heck yeah. Gotta love the Schween. Okay, the button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Oh, you missed it. That should say Jim now. Jump, circle, infinite hole. Cool. I'm gonna go to the reassurance bucket. Hey, look, it's the Stanley. He's parabolizing. Office decorations, infinite hole, reassurance bucket. Let's go to the reassurance bucket. Need some reassurance? Seek the bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Getting very Tiny Box Tim vibes with this, but also a commentary on accessibility and comfort and stuff. But also Tiny Bucket Tim. I'm holding it!
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
I was expecting to pick it up like it was a Source game where it's just sort of suspended in midair in the front of you. I did not expect to actually have like a first-person model of a shiny bucket a la equipping it. I didn't expect to equip the bucket on my main hand. Wait, I just have the bucket now. Okay, all right. We've got the bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Didn't Portal try to get like the biggest door achievement by putting that giant one in Portal 2? Not a real achievement, but they tried to get it anyway. Okay, we just have a bucket now. We're bucketing.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one.
What?
I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
I think I would go with Get Well Someday because I feel like in an office setting, there's going to be very few people who are celebrating their 12th birthday. That said, if it is indeed somebody's 12th birthday, that's a good bit of like narrative storytelling, because then all of a sudden you've opened up this entire layer of the office. Suddenly there's this connotation of child labor, and that would be like of intrigue to people maybe, but also unethical, so maybe don't. You do not want your game to accidentally be problematic. How do I leave? Oh, I get to pick. Oh, frick, I have to pick. They've given me a choice. Oh, happy 12th birthday, Stepney's? Okay. I'm going with Get Well Someday, but I just want to like enjoy the ridiculousness of it all. I picked this one.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
You've got to be kidding me.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Cool. All right. Nice. Excellent. Good luck with the connotations. Good. I hope you don't get canceled.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
The ending never ended. We're still here. We never left. We've already... Infinite Hole's up there. Free achievement! It just works. This is going to be a commentary on microtransactions or something. I don't know.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
For a moment, before the light turned on, I thought this was the engine from the beginner's guide.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
I love how they've taken the "this achievement is impossible" achievement in the original Stanley Parable and made it a plot point. This is the pinnacle of comedy. And also my frustration. Give me the achievement, darn you! I will seek reassurance with the bucket. The bucket will reassure me. If I were slightly more unhinged, I would start talking to the bucket as a companion on a more general basis and do the thing that every Let's Player does when they're playing an arbitrarily scary game.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
The Infinite Hole. Good stuff. Alright, so we've got Jump Circle, this map, free achievement, did that. The button that says the name of the player playing the game, did that. Merch, didn't do that yet. Settings, World Champion. Good to know. The bucket, we got decorations. The epilogues, collectibles, Infinite Hole, exit. Alright. Let's go to the collectibles. Also just because it's right here. Oh, the exit's that way. Good to know. This is peak E3 content. Can you find them? The collectibles. Collect them all. Can I collect it?
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
They are all trying to collect. Oh, all right, we're done here.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
I have elected to be enjoying my time here now. Oh, infinite hole. It's gonna be infinite. It's gonna be a hole. It's gonna be great. The infinity of it is gonna be it's gonna be in development. Oh man, this is a correct diagram of what would happen if you fall into the hole infinitely. What the My goodness. This is a diagram for a hell machine. This is a hell machine right here. It just keeps going.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
I am afraid. It can't be, right? Like, it can't be. This is gonna be a joke about how it's still in development or something. Like, okay, I'm getting in.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Okay, they're giving me an out.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Why? Is there a bottom? Is this infinite hole not actually infinite? Did you run out of budget?
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole.
I knew it.
Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
I mean, I guess it could be infinite in the sense that I'm stuck here forever. That would work. But it doesn't work. I want to play the game.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Cool. Oh, these are good ideas. I should totally fall again.
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I
did.
couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow, okay, yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability in marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Now we're
There it is.
What?
The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
All right, that seems like the giving up point.
Is the,
Uh-oh.
teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
What? 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 You can't. You can, no. You can't. You can't do this. I was gonna do this. Huh? Hello? What? I'm pressing H. Whoa.
stronger. Now you're no longer using up the space of my.
What? I'm upside. Oh no. Puppies!
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley?
What?
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Help. No, no, no. No, 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 no. What is this? What? No, I wasn't done. I wasn't done. Oh. Okay. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. We're
Here
back.
we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
What the Okay, it's still Jim. Oh my goodness. Is the bucket still there? Can I double bucket? I think I need another bucket. I think I need another bucket. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I need to acquire... That's a QR code. That is a genuine QR code that physically exists. I am scanning it before my very eyes, and it leads to StanleyParable2.com, which is a real website. Hold on. Hold on. This is a new layer of media we need to explore here. Let's hold on. I need to hold on. I need to figure out how to get this to. Okay, I am at the website. I now need to figure out how to get OBS to acknowledge that this thing exists. We're there. Okay. Let's see what the Stanley Parable 2 is all about. I guess. Let me do some cool cropping work on this actually, just to. There we go. Now it's like all centered and stuff. All right, let's do this. That's new. Privacy. They have a privacy policy. Oh, that's just the crow's privacy policy. Good to know. This is. Okay, before I continue, are we actually going to do this? Do we video? Do we want to? Do we go down the? You know what? I have pull powers. All right, you got a minute. Are we playing a video game right now? I don't know anymore. How about I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. I'm getting real good use out of this this poll feature on Twitch. I'm really happy we reached affiliate at just the right time because I need it. I need it for this. Man, imagine a tool that lets people make choices used in a game about making choices. Who'd have thought? I don't think we need. I'm ending the poll. Let's view the results. The results are resounding yes. All right, everyone. Strap yourselves in. We're watching a video.
Say there, Timmy. What's that you're enjoying? Why, it's breakfast, of course. Everyone loves breakfast. But did you know that breakfast is getting a sequel? That's right. It's called Lunch. And critics are raving that lunch will be everything breakfast was and more. With a little luck, we may even get a trilogy series out of it. Say, you know what a sequel is, don't you, Timmy? Why, sequels are the world's way of clinging helplessly to the past. We all want more of the things we love, and we're all afraid of change, which is what makes sequels so popular. New ideas are dangerous to me, and they can lead to early aging. This eager-minded young thinker is just 29 years old. That's why we have sequels, to keep us couched in the familiar and the comfortable. Sequels are the bedrock of a healthy, functional society. And if you look around you, you'll find them everywhere you go. For instance, this man is developing a sequel to the automobile, which we'll call the vertical automobile. It's a useless, impractical invention, and in 2 days' time, the man will be publicly stoned to death for his crimes against gravity. Not all sequels are heretical nonsense, however. Here's the man who invented breathing, which is the sequel to suffocating and dying a slow death. Even your parents are getting a sequel, Timmy. Their names are Rob and Jessica, and they'll be taking care of you once your original parents are sent back in time to fight a secret war for the government. Sequels can be very fashionable. This young woman is wearing 5 shirts at once, which is the sequel to wearing 4 shirts at once. Look at Becky over there, wearing only 2 shirts at once. Get with the times, Becky. In fact, there is only one single thing in the world that isn't a sequel. It's this. We don't know what it is or why it exists, but it's the prequel from which all sequels are derived. And just like everything else, the Stanley Parable is getting a sequel too. We all know, of course, that it was your favorite game as a child. Don't you remember those long, lazy afternoons you spent playing the Stanley Parable, watching your precious youth fritter away hour after hour? We've all wasted our childhoods in one way or another, and you were fortunate enough to get to waste yours on the Stanley Parable. But the Stanley Parable came out years ago, and you're not a child anymore. You're a man, which is like the sequel to a child. And as a man, you want manly things like taxes and cheating at baseball. You need a man's video game, Timmy. And that's why the Stanley Parable 2 will be perfect for you. It's as manly as video games can get. And if you don't believe me, let's look at the burly hunk of a man who's responsible for the game. Here he is, hard at work. His name is Gregory 8-Pack, and he's the cutting picture of raw, virile masculinity. Gregory is what we call the ideas guy, and he has the most important role on the team. The ideas guy tirelessly comes up with interesting concepts and then hands them off to the rest of the developers for the relatively simple job of turning those concepts into reality. For example, he's the one who picked up the phone and declared, "Someone ought to make a sequel to the Stanley Parable." Good work, Gregory. Go ahead and take the rest of the day off. With the hard part out of the way, work on the game can now begin. The game's developers must answer a simple question. What makes a sequel in the first place? Well, it's simple. Sequels are an opportunity to correct the mistakes of their predecessors. We've all made mistakes, and we've all caused harm to someone we love in order to cover up our mistakes. When developing this particular sequel, it's important to start by thinking, what mistakes did the original Stanley Parable make? Well, first off, most of the pornography in the original game was stolen or pirated, and it's time we paid the licensing fees fair and square. Second, the Stanley Parable was catastrophic for this man named Leroy, whose personal information, including home address, social security number, and bank information, were all displayed prominently in multiple locations throughout the game. Although Leroy's money and identity were stolen, the fact remains that his personal information was the emotional core of the game and absolutely vital to a nuanced understanding of the story. As reparation for the harm we caused him, the sequel will contain a brief and insincere apology to Leroy, tucked deep within the game where it will be difficult to find. Finally, the Stanley Parable made the mistake of leaking too many government secrets about the nature of the Time Wars. Without these intricate details of specific military tactics, the story is likely to make very little sense. But we've decided to remove them from the sequel in the interest of helping the state's efforts. We'll get to you yet, Time Dracula. Now then, it's time to set about constructing the Stanley Parable 2. Game development is a difficult and complex art, one which can only be fully understood by this race of hyper-intelligent child soldiers bred in laboratories. They begin by studying the original Stanley Parable. Here it is in its raw, untouched form, a specimen of technological perfection. Time to exploit it for profit. We begin by adding jokes. The Stanley Parable was most widely known for its stark lack of humor, bucking all conventional industry wisdom. It was a bold artist statement that its developers stood firmly behind. But in 2022, it's impossible to reach even a single consumer of video games without jokes of some kind. So very well, jokes it'll be. During its development, over 500 kiloliters of comedy will be funneled directly into the core of the Stanley Parable 2, creating jobs for hundreds of machine operators and producing 30,000 tons of pollutant chemical byproduct, which will be pumped directly into local lakes, rivers, and beautiful nature reserves like these all over the country.
I'm sad now.
Another common complaint of the Stanley Parable is that there wasn't enough gameplay. And so for the sequel, its developers have gone to great lengths to fix this problem. Here we can see gameplay being printed onto sheets. Every video game contains as many as 1,000 sheets of gameplay, and several of the largest games ever made contain close to 1,500. On mobile devices, the gameplay sheets have to be printed smaller. For the Stanley Parable 2, as many as 35 new gameplay sheets are being printed, each of which must be delicately massaged by the hands of a child before being added into the game. This man is stealing gameplay sheets from the factory, which he likely intends to use for a personal project he's been developing in his spare time. A good public stoning will cure him of that inclination. Let's check on Gregory real quick. Ha! Still recovering from a hard day's work. Don't you move a muscle. Next up, it's time to blackmail the press. In a competitive market, blackmailing your local journalist can be one of the most effective methods of creating word-of-mouth buzz for your sequel. In fact, blackmail is the currency of social progress. From your neighborhood grocer to the teacher at your school to the man who helps you steal HBO, everyone responds to blackmail. And if you've never done it before, it's easy to practice at home on your friends and family. Simply follow the instructional pamphlet that your teacher hands out after the end of the film. And finally, there's one last tool at our disposal for making the sequel feel fresh and exciting, and that's packaging the game with collector's edition merchandise. If you order the Stanley Parable 2, you'll receive this cow's egg. A single egg will produce over 1,000 cows, which are, of course, the sequel to pigs. And there you have it, everything there is to know about producing the Stanley Parable 2. Of course, you may know that there is also a game titled The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. So which game is the true sequel to the Stanley Parable? It's an excellent question, Billy, one which the child soldiers have been working round the clock to come up with an answer to. And after many weeks of diligent research, the conclusion they've reached is, who gives a shit? All that matters is that it's more content for you to cram down your insatiable gullet. You don't want thoughtful and nuanced answers to complex questions, Billy. You just want to eat bubble gum and cheat at hopscotch. So get out there and consume. Do your civic duty and bully your parents into buying you every version of the Stanley Parable 2 on every platform. Tell your friends to bully their parents as well. It's through community efforts like these that the world comes together in harmony and connection. And it's only through this connection that we'll defeat Time Dracula once and for all. Don't let the time-traveling vampires win. Buy the Stanley Parable 2 and pledge to support all sequels for today, tomorrow, and into the great unknowable beyond.
Okay. I guess we go back to the game now. It feels like it's been so long. Were we even playing a game to begin with? Huh. Oh, I have not felt this feeling of absolute confusion in a long time. Good stuff. Alright, let's see if we're forgetting anything. Alright, jump circle. Check. This map. Check. Free achievement. Check. Button says the name of the player that's playing the game. Check. Merch. Check. Settings World Championship. Did not do that. It is across from the merch. Okay. Let's go see that. The store. Oh, maybe it's up. Taste the sequel. Oh, it's probably up. Gotcha. Mostly infinite whole settings watch. There we are. Here we are. Let's go see those settings. Okay, Settings World Championship is unavailable. Have a nice day. Alright, Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket, check. Office decorations, check. Epilogue, have not seen. Semicolon right across from the... Oh, it must be that door up there. Collectibles, did that. Infinite Hole did that. Alright, so it seems like Epilogue is the target. Oh, you're right. I should probably check the... I don't know. Either way, let's go look at this epilogue nonsense. Bink.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
So I know there is an achievement that physically exists for trying to get every single, like, slider in the settings to change, but I never actually got it when I tried to get it. Like I swapped the field of view out for things, and I never, like, it never unlocked. it down. I did the subtitle background opacity, and I did that too. And I was like, hey, go to every option, see what happens. But no, didn't actually do anything to begin with. And I did it for all the audio as well, and I'm not messing with that because I don't want to. I'm leaving the Settings World Championship alone. Even if there's a thing in there, I'm fine with not knowing right now. I'll learn later once I have time. Well, I think that's everything except for the exit, which is over there. I think we had a good time learning about the sequel, and I don't even know what we're gonna be experiencing now. Like, what the heck?
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to?
Yes.
Ready to move on now?
Yep, I got the bucket. Someone left their luggage. Man, we were playing the Stanley Parable at some point. Like, I remember this. Oh, exhibit video 360 degree. We're in a planetarium.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game,
Because
but
you don't know how yet.
I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Oh, here we go. The game is being made before our very eyes.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Ooh.
I mean, there's potential here, right? It's
there's
sort of...
button.
Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
We've
Who
demonstration.
am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do
They
very
did
much
it! They moved the
enjoy
jump
creating
circle to
gags,
the
but
infinite
they don't
hole.
add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Whoa. Hello, welcome to the Federal Bureau of Control. My goodness, the settings are red now. We're truly sequeled. We are so sequeled, you can't even comprehend it. Still says Ultra Deluxe in the credits. That's fine. The credits have like legal obligations to be like proper and good. I'm fine that you don't like parody that just to not get involved with the lawyers. The physics going on here are nutty. Let's go.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Wait, was that? Wait.
Stanley worked for a company
there
in
it
a
is.
big building where he was employee number
The balloon.
427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
All
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The bucket. Give me that.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
How many games are we in right now? The new content door is gone. I think we're just in the game now.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yeah, sure. Okay, alrighty.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
Okay, now
Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Oh, the broom. The broom closet, we're back.
Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
Oh, no.
You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy.
The
It's
bucket
as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
I am so emotionally drained right now.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Hey, with you, I got a bucket. Oy.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Wait, this implies that every single ending now has a bucket variant. Oh my goodness.
Oh! You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Wait a minute. What if there's not a bucket variant of all the endings? There's just this ending, but there's collectibles to be collectible. I hear it. You!
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Can't hide the future from me. The future is mine to be mine at. Let apostrophe S. Okay. I can't go back any further. If I missed the Stanlerine, then I missed the Stanlerine. I'm gonna check the elevator room for a Stanlerine. Do not check the elevator room for a Stanlerine. I'm here.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
They're still floating.
Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him, always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
I am outliving the viewers of my own stream on their ability to heckin' tolerate the actions going on here. Everyone's leaving.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
My word.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
There's so much.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
I like how the bucket is slowly acquiring, like, an identity, according to the narrator. Like,
Was the bucket under the
had...
mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter, his one friend in the entire world. At this point,
he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system. Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support. What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place, not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The bucket is still here. The content has been added. Hold on, let me get the whiteboard ending. Here we are. Cool. Great. I'm very confused.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
We're still in the sequel. I cannot go on like this. My mind is fried. My circuits are blown. The future is pain. I need to stop. I'm stopping. Okay. Thank you for showing up to this. What is possibly the most mentally draining streams I've ever done. And I've played Factorio without any belts or pipes. And I plan to do so in the future as well. I'm gonna restart just to do it all as a cool new thing. Also because we've lost some of the old archives of the streams because we didn't know they weren't recording back then. But I'm going to go now. I need to pass out or something. I'm Exception. This is NTV. I don't even know if this was a good stream, but it was a heck of an experience. I'll tell you that much. I'm gonna go now. Have a good day and good night.